Hello my friends, welcome back to the channel. Welcome if you're new here. My name is Jordan and today I'm back with another video for you on Nautis Home, the early access. Today's video is going to be focused on looking at the development roadmap that VStep has released for us to view and have an idea of what's to come. Now, if you're looking to see some more gameplay of the early access for Nautis Home, be sure to check out my first video where I jumped into the game for the first time, showed you guys the introduction courses that are available, and even played around in free roam for a short amount of time. I also showed you guys the ships and the environments that are in the game, so if you're interested in seeing those, be sure to check out that video, and yeah, let's get into it. Alright, so with regards to the roadmap, this is what VStep has provided for us to look at. Now, at the very top, I want to draw your attention to these numbers here. So it says here that in early access, when it launches, we're going to have access to 10 ships, 8 environments, 3 courses, the full simulation, free roam, training scenarios, radar chart, and community. Now, while all of these things do seem accurate, there is one thing that I would question here, and that is the number of courses that are listed. As of right now, we have 4 introduction scenarios, and then there's a boatload of courses that are tagged with maneuverability, I believe is the title for that section. So as far as I can see, there's actually only 1 course. 2 if you do count the 4 scenario missions, but there is technically only 1 full course, and I haven't actually played through it yet, so it's hard to say what the contents are of that, but I just want to throw that in there. Now, with regards to the features that are listed here, we do have a full simulation. Mind you, it's definitely not perfect. There's a lot of polish, and it's early access. That's all I have to say. So it's getting there. Free roam, yeah, we do have a free roam. We can grab a ship, grab an environment, and go. Training scenarios, as I mentioned before, the 4 training scenarios, which I did play through in my last video. There is the radar, which in the chart, which are very basic implementations of these features, but they work nonetheless. And there is the community aspect, which, to be honest, I'm not really involved in. Basically, the rest of this is just going to go through what we can expect for the series going forward. So by the end of December 2022, we can expect them to add 1 more ship, 1 more environment, and another course. They're also planning to add 2 new features, which they have tagged here as exploring and keyboard support. Now, it's hard to say because these are pretty vague features in the grand scheme of things, so it's kind of hard to say what they mean by exploring. Now, if I were to guess, I'm going to guess that they're most likely to add in a free roam sort of camera, first-person camera, where you can walk around the ships. Walk around the decks of the ships and maybe a couple interior areas as well. They have done that in the past in both Ship Simulator 2008 as well as Ship Simulator Extreme, so it would not be surprising for them to add that camera back in, as it is very popular. I know it's very popular among the enthusiast crowd for the Ship Simulator series. Now, keyboard support was something I was a little surprised that wasn't included at the launch of early access. There is basically 0 keyboard support. Everything has to be done with the mouse. For me, I'm really looking forward to getting access to this because it's going to make my life a bit easier in terms of controlling the vessels. So yeah, I'm really happy to see that's coming. Now, for all of 2023, they have it broken down into quarters, and each quarter they're gonna aim to release 2 extra ships, an extra environment, and an extra course. Now, with regards to the features, in the first quarter they're looking to add hardware controls, anchoring, and signals. With regards to this, I'm not really sure what they mean by hardware controls. If I had to guess, I'm going to guess that they're looking to add support for more peripherals, like if someone wanted to play with something other than a keyboard and mouse, maybe a controller or some other thing. I would assume that they're adding support for these devices as of the first release in the first quarter of 2023. The next two things, anchoring and signals, these are things that were included in the previous titles, so I am excited to see that these are coming back, and yeah, looking forward to seeing those be added back in. In the second quarter of 2023, they are planning to add mooring and basic multiplayer. So again, I'm really excited to see that mooring is being added in. It's something that was available in the previous titles, and yeah, it's something I enjoyed playing with. So looking forward to that. Now, basic multiplayer, this is the first for this series. It's a first for V-Step in the Ship Simulator series. So you know, I'm interested to see how they implement this. I'm interested to see how that goes over with the community. I'm interested to see how that changes the experience of playing this particular title, Nautis Home. So I'm not really, personally, I'm not really into multiplayer. I prefer to stick to single player. Most of the games that I have that have multiplayer, I barely ever touch it, but there might be a chance that I will check that out once it is released in Q2 of 2023. In Q3, they are planning to add communication. Now, this is very vague. I have no idea what that means. It could be something as voice chat being added for multiplayer. It could be sort of like a radio type of situation where you can communicate via ship radio. It's hard to say what this actually is. But by the end of 2023, they have projected down here that we're going to be up to 19 ships in total, 13 new environments, and 9 courses. So, you know, there is a lot that's on track to be added in the next year or so. And the other thing I want to draw your attention to on this chart is this isn't a hard stop right here. There's actually an arrow here, which indicates to me that, you know, this may not be the end of the early access development cycle, that they may have more yet to come for 2024 as well, and that it's not going to be full release at the end of Q4 2023. In fact, early access may be continuing after that point. So I've had some comments on my previous video about, I know there was somebody that was talking about sailing, like schooners and sailboats. I think that's a great feature. I would love to see them implement that into Nautis Home. Currently on this roadmap, there's nothing to indicate that they are planning to do that, but it would be nice to see nonetheless. The other thing for me that I would like to see included in the development cycle would be things around emergencies and emergency response. So I know in one of the intro scenarios, they do have a little Easter egg there, which is a little boat that's actually sinking as you're, you know, going by. There, as far as I know right now, the game doesn't have any damage that can be done to ships. Yeah, it would be nice to see them implement that in case you make a mistake and, you know, there's actual consequences to your actions, kind of thing. So I would like to see that implemented as well. I would like to see the return of lifeboats. Like I know in the previous titles they gave you the ability to launch the lifeboats, and I believe there was even some missions in the past to do with like a lifeboat drill and launching the boat and having it move away from the ship. I think that's pretty interesting and it's pretty cool. I would love to see a return of that. That's kind of what's on my list, my personal list. But yeah, I'm going to hand it over to you guys. Let me know what features you're most excited to see be added to Nautis Home. If you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more content for Nautis Home, be sure to subscribe to the channel. I do try and post at least once a week. Sometimes my life gets a bit busy, so it doesn't always happen, but I do try and post regularly. So if you want to stay up to date with my content, be sure to subscribe to the channel so that you get notified when I do post new videos and content. But until next time, thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you again soon. Take care.